Good evening. I want to welcome you and thank you all for joining us this evening. I am Doherty Jourdain, the Vice President of Brooklyn Field Operations for the YMCA, and I'm thrilled to be here with all of you. In recent years, primary elections have played a huge role in determining who gets into office in New York City. New York is now using ranked choice voting for many city races in primary and special elections. This year, the primaries will take place on June the 22nd, with early voting from June the 12th to June the 20th. And we want voters to be informed and ready. To tell you all about ranked choice voting, we have Joan Bach-Radim, the chair of the Civic Engagement Committee at the Brooklyn chapter of the NAACP. Chartered in 1922, the Brooklyn chapter of the NAACP has a rich legacy of activism and defending the social, economic, political, and legal rights of people of color. In recent years, the Brooklyn NAACP has partnered with the Y to lead outreach on the census, educate teens on civic engagement, and host voter registration drives at our branches. Joan, thank you so much for being here. I encourage people to use the Q&A function to submit questions that come up as you listen to Joan's presentation. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Doherty, and thank you, YMCA, for the opportunity to present ranked choice voting to our community. As I begin my session today, I offer you a recap of the changes to our local elections. We'll look at how we got here. So in 2019, the City Council called for a Charter Revision Commission to review a wide scope of issues and suggest changes to the city charter. So before I continue on, I'm going to actually stop my video so that you're not distracted by my facial expressions as we proceed. So I will be sure to come off onto screen again to extend my gratitude for you sticking it out to the end. But for now, I stop my video. So as I was saying a moment ago, we are here because of a 2019 call for a Charter Revision Commission. We reviewed a wide scope of issues and suggested changes to the city charter, which is essentially the city's constitution. Over the course of several months, the commission held multiple public hearings, heard from experts, and accepted testimony on a wide variety of issues. Throughout this process, hundreds of concerned citizens and organizations came out to offer support on many different issues. One of the issues that received the most support throughout the hearing process was ranked choice voting. The commission voted 14-1 to place ranked choice voting for primaries and special elections on the November 2019 ballot. RCV was question 1, and it was passed by voters with over 73% of the vote and will be implemented for the first time this year for city primaries and special elections. So understand that the referendum passed with only about 19% of all registered voters voting. So the group that was for the ranked choice voting option mobilized their base so that ranked choice voting passed overwhelmingly in the 2019 election. So what is actually changing? So as of January 1st, as I indicated, we have all local primary and special elections for city council, borough president, public advocate, comptroller, and mayor, which they would all be listed now as ranked choice voting elections. So for clarity, ranked choice voting is only triggered if no candidate reaches a majority of 50% plus 1 of first choice votes. So you will have the opportunity to rank up to 5 candidates, including a write-in if you choose. But throughout the process, redistribution occurs until only 2 candidates are left. So too often we have seen that the case is 2/3 of multi-candidate races, mostly in the primaries, end up with a candidate winning with less than 50% of the vote, so a plurality as opposed to a majority. So it's considered unhealthy for our democracy, and it also makes it, in some cases, harder to govern because people feel like they didn't have a say in the person that is now in the seat. So going forward, as of the June primary election, Tuesday, June 22nd, you will have the opportunity to utilize ranked choice voting for potentially the first time. I use the phrase potentially because we have the opportunity to do early voting. So Saturday, June 12th to Sunday, June 20th, if you're like me, you'll be utilizing one of those dates to vote early so that you can focus on getting your neighbors to vote on the actual primary day if they opt not to go to early vote. So I'll pause for a second so that you can make note of the last day to register to vote, which is May 28th, and the last day to change your address, which is June 2nd, if you have already registered to vote. So now let's move forward to ranked choice voting, the actual concept. For voters, ranked choice voting is what it sounds like. You rank candidates in order of choice. So your first candidate is a person that you love, the reason why you came to the polls. You wanted to make sure that this person wins because they align with your values and you want to see them in office. The second choice is the one you like, the one that's close enough. And, if your first choice decided today that he or she does not want to campaign tomorrow, who would you then align behind? Who aligns most closely with your values if your first choice was not an option? That's your backup. Fortunately for you, because of ranked choice voting, you're not done yet. You have 3 more choices. You can continue to rank backups in case your top choices are eliminated from the race. So the third or fourth choice is the one you like slightly less. The fifth choice is the one that's not going to make you pull your hair out if you see them representing you as your mayor, as your council member, etc. And don't forget, you do still have that option of a write-in candidate. So now let's see this in actual practice, shall we?
Hi, I'm Olivia Owl. Changes are coming to the way we vote. With the new ranked choice voting, the next time you vote, instead of choosing just one candidate, you can rank them all from your first choice to your last. Here's how it works. Let's say these 5 candidates all run for mayor of Animal Town. This voter ranks Lucinda as her top choice for mayor. She also ranks her second choice Diego, third choice Betty, fourth choice Roberto, and fifth choice Felix. If Lucinda wins more than 50% of all the first-ranked votes, then she's the new mayor. However, if no candidate gets more than 50%, then the least popular candidate is eliminated. Sorry, Felix. The remaining second-ranked votes from Felix's voters are redistributed. So, if a number of Felix's voters rank Betty and Diego, then those 2 candidates receive additional votes. The new totals are counted and the process repeats until one candidate earns more than 50% of the total votes. Congrats, Diego, you're the new mayor! Back in the real world, before it's time to vote, visit votedifferentsantafe.com for more information. Thank you, Santa Fe, for voting. And
so that is, in a nutshell, what it looks like when we rank choice vote. So now I take you quickly to the paper ballot. Our understanding at this moment is that there will be at least 2 pages with the ranked choice voting candidates on one, so that's front and back, and then another paper, another paper ballot, I apologize, that will have your non-RCV, non-ranked choice voting races on a separate ballot. So that would be like your district attorneys, your judicial candidates would have their own ballot, and your ranked choice voting candidates would be on one. So what you want to do is for both, make sure you turn your ballot over. That's always a good practice. So as we talk about the concept that was just introduced, the concept of the counting the rounds, the thing that happens until all ballots are exhausted or we have reached the 50% plus one, so that one candidate has that 50% plus one, and we have a clear winner. Just pay attention to bullet point number 2. Until the official winner is declared, we will count the votes until we have a clear 50% plus one majority. And then because we're trying to ensure that all of our voters are enfranchised and active participants in this process, we will make it possible for you to see the round by round totals if you so choose. So why should you do this? Ranking your candidates increases your reach. After you prioritize your candidate with the first position, you will have the ability to indicate, as I said previously, from second all the way to 5. So 5 is your maximum, but you can also only choose one. So some people have expressed concern that ranked choice voting will impact their candidates' ability to get elected. And we want to make sure that you're clear. It will never hurt your favorite candidate. If you vote for them first, that first vote always counts. So rest assured that it does not impact your favorite candidate. So now we're going to have a bit of show and tell. I've explained to you why. I've provided you with a sample ballot to show you how. Now I would like to show you a website that will enable you to see what the process looks like as it pertains to choosing your leader for the $100 bill. So I will pause my share for now, and in just a moment, I will reactivate to show you the website that takes you through the round by round process. In just a moment, I will be sharing with you All right, thank you so much for your patience as I bring this up, the website up for you. It will be activating in just a moment. Thank you for your patience. Okay, please let me know if you see my share. So what you should see is a ranked vote website. Please let me know by Doherty, do you see my website?
No, I do not.
Okay, I will try it again. Do you see it now?
Yes, I do.
Excellent. Thank you so much for that. So on screen right now is our website that enables you. So you will have voted in this. So let's start it all over. So you would have received a link that asked you to rank your choice for the person to go on the $100 bill. So right now, you should see on my screen the results of your vote.
Yes, I do.
So we have, I'm sorry?
Yes, I do.
Awesome. So we have Shirley Chisholm, Martin Luther King Jr., John Lewis, Frederick Douglass, Malcolm X, so all great and worthy candidates. We see that all of the people that have voted have indicated that these were the people that they wanted to replace the person on the $100 bill. But as you can see, we do not have 50% plus one yet. That would require up to 178 votes to achieve that count. So that means that we have to go round by round. So Bayard Rustin has a fewest number, so he will be the first person that drops off, and his second vote, the second or third position, that now is allocated to the remaining candidates. So we continue this process round for round, reallocating the votes, exhausting ballots until finally we have someone that has achieved the required 50% plus one. In this case, Shirley Chisholm, well done, has taken the lead with Martin Luther King Jr. a close second, but the winner for this would be Shirley Chisholm, member of Congress. So if you know Shirley Chisholm, you know why we're very proud and pleased for this result. But if you don't, please Google her. She's one to be unbought and unbossed, but one to be reckoned with nonetheless. So thank you so much for allowing me the opportunity to show you what the round by round process looks like and what happens once you've casted your ballot. So now we go back to our presentation. So in just a moment, I'll be asking for my able helpers to just confirm that they can see my slide deck again.
Yes, I can.
Excellent. So as we proceed, we consider some frequently asked questions. I'm sure by now you've dropped the same question in the chat. So I will take you through about 4 or 5 questions that we get asked at every one of these presentations that we do. So let's begin. How many candidates can you rank? Up to 5, as many or as few as you like. So for clarity, you can rank only one person or up to 5 people. So when we say as many as you like, we say only up to 5, because, for example, in this moment, the mayoral candidates were, I think, at about 32 people still actively running for mayor. So of the 32, you can only choose up to 5. But again, you can only, if only one of those candidates motivates you, choose him or her. That's fine too. And I just answered my own question. The next question, can you use all 5? Yes, you can, but you don't have to. If you only feel compelled, if you only are motivated by the one person, then that's fine. Choose only them. And this next question was a question that I was asked at almost every single session I did, and in person quite often. Can I rank a candidate more than once? Well, here's our reality check. If you have your favorite candidate and you rank her or him first, second, third, fourth, or fifth choice, it's just wasted energy on your part because they will only count one time. Okay? And because you have James Dean in all 5 positions, or you have Shirley Chisholm in all 5 positions, again, she's counted only one time. But let's say with my example, you have the 32 people running for mayor, and you ranked Maya Wiley and Sean Donovan, and you couldn't make up your mind, so you threw in Eric Adams. For all of them, you ranked them number 1. Well, unfortunately, that will require you, if you're in person, have no fear, we can resolve your mistake. You will be greeted by one of the poll workers who could then, after your ballot is kicked out, they will then come and present you with a new ballot where you can then complete it and indicate only one first, second, third, fourth, or fifth choice person. So you have up to 3 attempts to get it right. But if you are doing an absentee ballot, my recommendation, please take the time to select only one candidate for each position. Because if you do not, you may run the risk of not having that campaign, that particular office, your vote for that office may not count if you submit an inaccurately completed ballot during the absentee ballot process. Okay, so we move on To the final one, does it hurt my favorite candidate to have a second choice? As I indicated in the slide before, it does not impact them. Your second, third, or the other positions would only be looked at if your first choice is eliminated. So the value here is that it allows your voice to still count even after your first choice is eliminated if you choose the second through fifth position and circle them or complete them for your backup candidates, if you will. So we're heading close to the end. We have another item to offer you that supports the value of ranked choice voting. It supports our perspective that ranked choice voting creates a more harmonious pool of candidates because you are trying to be in that person's first choice. So if I'm the candidate that's running, I'm trying to make sure that if I am not your first choice, that I will be your second or your third. So I will make sure that I partner or work better with my opponent to make sure that they see us as a uniform and unified front. So I now offer you what it sounds like when we are unified.
Hi, I'm Pam Harris.
I'm Nayeli Maxon.
I'm Shane Tao.
We're running for Oakland City Council District 4.
For the past 16 years, this seat has been held by dynamic women.
We are three well-qualified candidates for City Council.
We are mothers, public servants, and community leaders.
Pam has 20 years of nonprofit finance experience. She can manage any budget.
Nayeli has worked in the District 4 office. She knows the district's issues inside and out.
Shane has worked for the City Council for 5 years. She has the experience to get results.
We're asking for your support on November 6th.
This is a ranked choice election. Vote for us 1, 2, or 3.
You can learn more about us on our websites.
Vote for positive leadership,
Collaborative leadership,
Women's leadership.
I think I need to pause for effect. In this moment, we have heard from 3 dynamic candidates who are working together to show what it sounds like when people recognize the value in leadership and recognize the importance of sticking to platform to reassure our community that any one of the people running would indeed be for their betterment. So I offer you now ranked choice voting essentials to remember. In 2021, right now, we have the opportunity to rank 5 candidates in local, primary, and special elections. So special elections is a thing. In the Bronx and in Queens, we've already utilized ranked choice voting in a few city council elections. So if you know anybody in the Bronx or in Queens, reach out to them and ask them how it went. And you may be lucky enough to reach out to a person who was actually in the impacted district. If you are not lucky enough to be speaking to that person, then make sure you tell your friend, your family member that ranked choice voting is coming and to prepare for it, because that is how we will vote for in the primary and the early vote for the primary. That's how we will be voting for our mayor, comptroller, public advocate, borough president, and city council member. So again, the point to remember, you can vote for up to 5 people, but if you're so compelled, you can just vote for 1. So remember that, 1 or up to 5. And why should you care? Why should you do it? Well, you won't have to worry about wasting your vote. You won't accidentally help someone get elected that you don't support. Because, and the value here is that, again, because you will need to understand who you would need to allocate first, second, third, fourth, and fifth position, it will mean that you will have to do some more research. So yes, you've got to do a bit more research to become more familiar with your candidates, but it just means that you're ready to hold him or her accountable when they finally get the seat, right? So you don't have to worry about splitting the votes, that the plurality wins as opposed to the majority. ranked choice voting helps to address some of that. So as we now head to the end and we get to the Q&A part of our session, I offer you information, a phone number, and a website, which is www.brooklyn.NAACP, so Brooklyn, NAACP.org. So here we have the Rank the Vote NYC details, but I am a part of the oldest and the boldest bringing this message to you. So when you are ready, if you have questions, yes, these links, these contact points are accurate, but you also have the Brooklyn NAACP and the YMCA that have guidance around this topic. So now I pause in gratitude and allow my partner in this from the YMCA to bring forth any questions that you have dropped in the chat so that we can offer you some guidance. Doherty, are you ready?
Yes, I am. Thank you so very much for that informational presentation. I do
Thank you.
have questions. I will
Thank you.
begin with, how do I vote for a write-in candidate?
That is an excellent question. So on your ballot, you will be presented with a list of all of the active candidates for the particular position that you or the particular office that you're considering. At the end of that list, you will see a space that says write in. You simply write in the name of your candidate and then shade in the position that you would like them to occupy, whether it's the first, second, third, fourth, or fifth.
Thank you. A second question for you. Will the voting machine tell me if I make a mistake on my ballot?
So the good news is it will, depending on your mistake. If your mistake is that you have shaded in your favorite candidate all 5 times, the good news is the machine would recognize that it is the first position is occupied by this person and accept that vote and no need to resolve it. But if you have by accident shaded in 2 candidates with the first position, or second position, or whatever. So let's say you have 2 candidates occupying the same position, that will be kicked out by the machine. Yes, it will tell you. And was your standing, because most people, my recommendation, always a great idea as well. As you're scanning through your ballot, wait to make sure it goes through, right? So that if it pops back out, then you will definitely, you should have a poll worker right next to you. But if you do not, simply turn around. They're going to be ready for you, and you walk it back over to your desk, or they will direct you what to do. And then you'll be able to up to 3 times. So please, let's try to get it right on the second time, because you only have 3 chances to get that right. Okay.
Excellent, excellent. You answered the second part to that question.
Thank you.
Great. My final question for you. Why are judicial and district attorney not part of the ranked voting choice?
Because RCV, according to the question 1 under the charter revision, those non-municipal races were omitted from the ranked choice voting process. So that's why they're not being considered in this moment. They were not part of the process of the ranked choice voting process.
Well, again, thank you so very much, Joan, for all the information you've shared this evening. We hope we can count on everyone to make a voting plan for the primaries. Again, this year's primaries will take place on June the 22nd, with early voting from June 12th to June 20th. For more information on ranked choice voting and other voting resources, and to see a recording of this webinar, please visit ymca.org/events/voting. Thank you, and have a great evening, everyone.
Thank you, everyone. Remember, have that voting plan. Great idea, Doherty. Take care.
Good night.
Goodbye.